Now, a quick aside before the video starts. This video is going to be a lot more opinion-based and a lot less scripted, as I've spoke to some people, showed them my videos, some close family and friends, and sort of said, what do you feel like needs to change? And they've said, you seem really unnatural and not like yourself when you're reading a script. It's kind of hard to get your brain and your mouth to match up. So obviously you might sound like in your head that you're talking like yourself, but in reality, probably not. So in this video, it's going to be a bit more free-flowing, a little bit different. Please let me know down below whether you think this is better, if you prefer this, or you prefer for me to go back to my sort of more scripted, documentary style-esque talking videos. But enjoy. Now, if you're anywhere between the ages like early 30s up until like your 20s, you'll remember this. Now, I want to ask you a question. Why was that so scary? Why did it feel like the startup to the PlayStation 2 was intentionally creepy? So, today's video, we're going to look at why the PlayStation 2 had the startup screen, who made it, and what people think about it. So, let's just get into that. So, if you're familiar with game consoles, a PlayStation 2, or PS2 for short, is a home video game console. You're probably familiar with it. It's one of the most popular ever made. And the PlayStation 2 was released anywhere from the 4th of March 2000 up to the 13th of August 2003, with India being the last place to get it. And the PlayStation 2 was actually a 6th generation console. It competed with the likes of the GameCube, the Dreamcast, and the original Xbox. But fun fact, the PlayStation 2 is actually the best selling video game console of all time, selling 155 million units worldwide, nearly triple of all the other consoles I just named. Isn't that crazy? And since we're crunching numbers, we might as well say that there was over 4,000 games released on the PlayStation 2 and over 1.5 billion copies sold of all the games made. Now that is absolutely crazy. Obviously the PS2 Slim and everything came out after it, but that's not important right now. Why are we talking about this console? Is it because it's the most important console? No. Is it because it had loads of great games such as San Andreas, Jak and Daxter? No. We're talking about it because it had a really scary opening sequence. Like, you remember Christmas morning, you got your Xbox 360, you plugged it in, the big green X appeared, swing! Everyone was happy, lovely, everyone can enjoy the lovely sound when the Xbox starts up. Even now, plug in your Xbox Series S, press the button, ooh, there it is, lovely X on the screen. You plugged in your PlayStation 2. Traumatized. You ain't coming back from that. I'm telling you, you ain't coming back from that. The PlayStation 2 startup screen was bizarre. So I went to Reddit, I searched for it myself and see what other people had to say. And here's some quotes of what people had to say about the PlayStation 2 startup. This was the moment that I essed my pants, as my favourite game decided it wanted to S the bed and stop reading for good. I have to admit, this was a little creepy. It gives me goosebumps and makes me think of something. It gives me a sense of the unknown, sort of like space. The PS2 gives me this sort of uneasy feeling. And then I just saw this quote that said, if she doesn't know this sound, she's probably too young for you, bro. It's scary to think that there probably is quite a lot of kids right now that don't actually know this sound, that don't know what this is. That's terrifying, that all the kids growing up now won't know that noise and know where it comes from. Existential. But a question a lot of people want to know is, what is the sound? Where did the sound come from and why is it so weird? Well, I can actually show you where it came from. If you go to the YouTube video e-mu orbit /orbit2 v2 bank 0 preset demo and go to the 8-minute mark, I'll play it for you now. And there you have it. There is the sound that the PlayStation 2 startup came from. It was actually just a sampling demo, a preset, that's all. We're all scared of a little preset, but I ain't gonna lie, it is kind of weird, and it did used to make me feel really uneasy as a kid, especially at night, because, one, you don't want to wake your parents up, two, it sounds weird, and three, If your game didn't read, it turned to this. This became known or coined as the red screen of death. And this is where people actually started to become afraid of the screen. If you go through the comments on the YouTube video of the red screen itself, you'll see people saying, these are some examples. The thing that scared me the most was the fact that the queue was all by itself. It looked like it was ready to plot my murder. I'm an adult now, and to me, there's still something so existentially terrifying about this screen. The initial sound of this is quite haunting. Then afterwards, that white noise sound is actually kind of soothing. I was traumatized by this red screen of death, that I was expecting something to jump scare me in this video. That sound used to scare me so bad when I was a child. That red screen scared me so much as a little kid, it's funny that I still get goosebumps now after all these years. So why is the question? Why are so many people sort of afraid or have bad memories of the red screen, or just the PlayStation 2 menus in general? Leaning more so towards the red screen when I say this. Think about it. The only reason that screen will come up is if you try to play a damaged game. So the expectation as a child putting in a game thinking, I'm going to have an adventure and play this game, one of my favourite things to do and enjoy my time so much, to instead be greeted by a horrible hollow sound of a and then just red and nothingness and soothing little beach sounds. That is a completely different vibe than what you were expecting, and as a kid that can be kind of intimidating, a little bit scary and a little bit unusual. As an adult, you just brush it off. But as a child, things sort of create a lasting memory. Things seem a lot more haunting and scary when you're a young kid and don't really understand the world very much. So my question for you today is, what is your favourite startup screen? And what are some of your memories, if you did have a PlayStation 2, of the infamous startup screen with the towers? Were you afraid of it, or did you like it? Is it one of your favourites, or is it one that you'd rather not think about ever again, especially that weird red variant? I'm glad to have made this video for you today, and I'm hoping that you enjoyed it. I'm so glad that you chose me to entertain you for the last however long the video is. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe and comment, and tell me what you want to see next. I'm always open to suggestions. This has been fun. I like making strange videos that you probably aren't going to see anywhere else, but I'm not completely original. I can't be. I'm just a guy. Everything's been done before. But again, thank you so much for choosing me. Thank you so much for watching the video. My name, of course, is Gillo Boy Jr., and I will be sure to catch you later.